In the silent corridors of power that span the Dune universe, the great houses hold the fates of countless worlds in their hands. They are more than mere noble lineages. Each house stands as a pillar in a complex political order that has persisted for thousands of years. The relationships between these houses shape the Imperium's destiny, influencing wars, treaties, and the subtle adjustments of trade and diplomacy. Their interplay creates a delicate balance maintained by the threat of ruin for any who stray too far from cooperation or understanding. At the apex sits the Imperial House Corrino, descended from those who rose to dominance in the wake of the Butlerian Jihad. By tradition, a Padishah emperor of the Corrino line rules from the planet Kaitain, flanked by the Sardaukar legions who enforce his will. The emperor's authority is near absolute, yet not without constraints. The presence of the Landsraad, an assembly of all great houses and the other powerful institutions, ensures that even the emperor must consider the reactions of his peers. House Corrino's priority is to maintain the status quo, relying on fear and the implied threat of Sardaukar intervention. Still, the emperor cannot simply crush opposition without cause. The Landsraad would unite against him if he threatened their collective stability. Below the emperor, the great houses vary in might, influence, and wealth. House Atreides, renowned for honor, justice, and a bond with their people, stands in stark contrast to House Harkonnen, infamous for cruelty, cunning, and exploitation. Their ancient feud, dating back to the Battle of Corrine and Abulurd Harkonnen's supposed cowardice, has grown into a legend that colors every interaction. The Atreides pride themselves on a loyal populace, martial discipline, and close alliances with other respected houses. The Harkonnens, holding sway over Giedi Prime's harsh industries, intimidate and enslave to maintain control. Where Atreides seeks respect, Harkonnen enforces fear. In this polarity, the Emperor often finds a useful tension. He can tilt the balance by favoring one side when it suits him, ensuring that neither gains too decisive an upper hand. Yet beyond these famous rivals, numerous houses wield subtler influence. House Richese and House Vernius of Ix excel in the creation of technology and machinery, though always careful not to approach forbidden artificial intelligence. Houses famed for their agricultural output, like those controlling fertile or water-rich worlds, hold quiet but essential economic power. The great houses compete in arenas of trade and resource control, manipulating markets to outmaneuver their rivals. In the shadows, they bargain with the Spacing Guild to secure favorable shipping routes, ensuring their goods flow swiftly while their enemies' shipments face delays and higher fees. Key to this intricate network is CHOAM, the Kombininen Onete Oberadvancer Mercantiles, the massive corporation that controls virtually all economic affairs of the Imperium. Ownership shares and directorships in CHOAM are the true currency of power. Control over a fraction of CHOAM stock can secure wealth beyond measure, while losing influence there can spell the decline of even a formidable house. Houses maneuver tirelessly to gain CHOAM directorships or to dislodge rivals from important posts. Alliances form and disintegrate based on CHOAM's favor. In this realm, coin and contract matter as much as sword and intrigue. A subtle shift in CHOAM's leadership can cause house fortunes to rise or fall with dizzying speed. The Guild, aloof and mysterious, provides yet another balancing element. Its navigators hold a monopoly on safe interstellar travel, forcing the houses to maintain at least a veneer of diplomacy. If any house angers the Guild, restricted transport or sudden fare hikes can cripple that house's economy and military mobility. Thus, even the most belligerent houses must consider the Guild's neutrality and ensure at least polite dealings. This dependence on the Guild's good graces prevents the Imperium from fracturing into isolated worlds, raising the cost of outright warfare. Instead, houses resort to more controlled forms of conflict, canly vendettas, wars of assassins, or manipulating trade, rather than plunging headlong into ruinous campaigns. Some houses occupy roles of cultural significance. Minor houses sworn to major houses create tiers of obligation and patronage. The Fofreluches class system, which defines the social order, ensures that each house's position is reinforced by custom and law. In times of crisis, these bonds can pivot the course of history. A house minor might supply a critical resource at a key juncture, tipping a delicate balance in a negotiation or a siege. The synergy of houses working together or conspiring against one another forms the endless patterns of politics that color the ages. A prime example of the complexity arises when new threats loom. Suppose a house seeks to gain a new fee, like the Siridar fief of Arrakis, home to spice melange. The Emperor might award it to one house, angering another. The displaced house then seeks revenge, not openly, but through subtle sabotage, manipulating CHOAM appointments to restrict the flow of goods, whispering hints of treachery to the Guild, or petitioning the Landsraad to censure the house that offended it. Such indirect methods maintain the illusion of order while the fires of ambition rage unseen. Alliances may form out of mutual fear or shared profit rather than genuine admiration. House Moritani, for instance, known for sponsoring assassins and thriving in clandestine violence, might make common cause with a weaker house threatened by the Atreides Harkonnen rivalry, using fear to secure valuable concessions. The victimized house, desperate to survive, might accept a risky partnership, hoping the tumult of conflict opens a path to greater status. The Landsraad might step in if matters escalate, imposing decisions that force houses to negotiate terms, often under the looming presence of CHOAM's economic judgment and the Guild's silent scrutiny. Over long centuries, the political system remains fluid. The Emperor changes, CHOAM appointments shift, the Guild maintains its silent watch, and the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood whispers advice into eager ears, steering lineages and agreements to serve their secret plans. Each house must adapt or risk obsolescence. Technological edges, rare resources, unique cultural strengths, all become bargaining chips in these endless games. The fundamental importance of the houses in the Dune universe is that they embody the principle that power never rests in a single pair of hands. Instead, it circulates, shifting from one faction to another as fortunes wax and wane. The interplay among houses determines the fate of planets, the flow of spice, and the very survival of entire populations. Without these houses, the Imperium would lose its delicate structure. Without their rivalries and alliances, without their scheming and diplomacy, the Emperor might become a tyrant, or the Guild might impose its will unchecked. The houses ensure that no matter how great a power, it can be balanced by another. Thus, the houses serve as pillars holding the Imperium aloft. Their alliances, hatreds, and constant maneuvering forge the destiny of countless worlds. As each house strives to preserve its legacy and lineage, the entire Dune universe resonates with the tension and promise of an ever-changing political dance, where profit and influence guide the great players toward either greatness or ruin. Continue exploring this intricate system and share this journey with those who seek to understand the hidden workings behind Dune's endless intrigues.